The man I secretly loved was blind. For an entire year, I pretended to be his fiancée and took care of him. When the real fiancé came back, I was kicked out of the villa. I left the country alone to work odd jobs. Little did I know, he went crazy back home trying to find me. Aiden, time for your medicine. I lowered my voice, carried a glass of water, and walked into the bedroom. The man sitting on the edge of the bed turned toward the sound. Golden sunset light spilled across his handsome face, bathing it in a soft glow. Only his eyes had no focus. You're half an hour late. Aiden sounded reproachful, but he still smiled gently in my direction. Something urgent came up at the office. I imitated Evelyn's tone perfectly and placed the glass in his hand. Aiden was my husband, yet I was playing the role of his childhood sweetheart. A year ago, Aiden was in a car accident that left him temporarily blind. The recovery timeline was uncertain. His proud fiancée, Evelyn, naturally didn't want to marry a blind man and fled abroad without a second thought. My little brother needed emergency heart surgery. The cost was astronomical, and the burden fell entirely on me. That was when the Lawson family secretly looked for someone with a similar voice to impersonate Evelyn, and I was the perfect candidate. I had studied vocal music and graduated at the top of my class. We quickly came to an agreement. Honey, what's for dinner tonight? Aiden smiled, playing with my fingers. He worked from home every day. Only when I came back from work did he truly relax. Auntie made all your favorites. I'll bring them up later. Okay. Aiden brushed his hand along my neck, then leaned in and kissed my lips. Heat rushed to my cheeks. I couldn't push him away. Instead, he caught my wrist and held me tighter. My heart raced. No matter how many times this had happened, I was still nervous, terrified I'd accidentally blow my cover. His hand slid down to my waist, then rested on my stomach. He frowned slightly. It's been so long. How come there's still no news? These things take time. I've been so tired from work lately. I probably need to get my body in better shape first. I lied. He couldn't see my face anyway. Between us, there was only a contract. I never forgot to take my pills. Then I guess I need to try harder. Aiden laughed and gently nipped my earlobe. When he tried to keep going, I immediately pushed him away. I'll go check on dinner. His soft laughter followed me out. Face burning, heart pounding, I leaned against the hallway wall. All the tenderness he showed, everything he did, it was meant for his real fiancée. How could a man this gentle, this smart, this perfect not make someone fall for him? Especially when I'd liked him for years. Downstairs, Aiden's mother, Victoria Lawson, was already waiting at the dining table. Right on time. I have good news. Evelyn has been found. Dr. Shin also says Aiden's eyes are showing signs of recovery. It won't be long before you can complete the mission and leave. Victoria smiled brightly, clearly delighted. I forced a smile. Congratulations, it's finally over. Her gaze landed on the faint mark on my neck, and her face instantly darkened. Sophia, don't get any ideas. If you slip up even once in these last few days, or if you're planning something, you can forget about getting a single cent of your brother's medical money. I understand, Mrs. Lawson. I nodded coolly, ignoring the obvious contempt in her eyes. In private, Victoria never let me call her mom. To her, I was nothing but a cheap counterfeit. The fact that her son had touched me was already the greatest blessing of my pathetic life. The person worthy of Aiden had to be a refined heiress like Evelyn. If the Lawsons hadn't been afraid of losing face on engagement day, they would never have let a poor nobody like me set foot in their home. On the actual engagement day, they made me wear a veil and put on a pathetic little show. After dinner, I brought Aiden a glass of warm milk. He was on the phone with his assistant, listening to a company report. I sat beside him, heart hammering, silently rehearsing the words I'd prepared. He hung up, reached out blindly, and found my hand. Tomorrow's the weekend. Let me take you out? But I have to go home tomorrow. He hooked his finger around mine and smiled. Then I'll wait for you. I looked at him, my heart a mess. Tomorrow, the contract ended. Tonight was our last night together. Aiden, drink your milk and sleep early. I placed the glass in his hand. He finished it. There was a trace of milk left on his lip. I reached out and wiped it away. My fingertip brushed the corner of his mouth. His heart skipped. He turned and kissed me, perfectly accurate. Every nerve in my body short-circuited. I threw my arms around his neck. So eager tonight, honey? Aiden. Take care of yourself." Early the next morning, the staff had already packed my things. Victoria stood there, eyes sharp and full of disgust. "Here's your money. The password is your birthday." I took the card without emotion and walked toward the door. Suddenly, footsteps sounded on the stairs. Somehow, Aiden was already awake. "Honey, when will you be back?" My throat tightened. "Probably, late. I'll wait for you." Looking at his handsome face, I bit my lip, turned, and left. I dragged my suitcase back to the cheap apartment I used to rent and finally felt I could breathe again. It was old and rundown, but at least I no longer had to live under someone else's scornful gaze. After my brother's surgery, I took him abroad. That was part of the deal. When Evelyn returned, I had to disappear completely. Before leaving the country, I saw news photos of Aiden after his sight returned. He looked dazzling at a charity gala with the elegant Evelyn by his side. The perfect match. I couldn't help remembering senior year of high school. During the New Year's performance, they had stood on that stage like they were made for each other. I was 2 years below them, but I already knew who Aiden Lawson was. Among the giggling girls, his name was always mentioned, the handsome, brilliant senior. I liked him because of one tiny thing. Near campus, there were often beggars everyone avoided. Everyone except Aiden. Every morning, he politely bought them breakfast. Back then, my family was still well off. I used to watch him from afar in the school courtyard. Later, my father lost everything gambling and jumped off a building. I transferred schools, worked part-time jobs, and barely kept going. Life abroad was hard. In a foreign country, I still had to care for my brother while he recovered. It took half a year before I finally adjusted. I taught vocal music at a small academy and played piano in a French restaurant on weekends. Most of the money the Lawsons gave me had gone to medical bills. The future still needed money, so I worked harder than ever. I never imagined I'd run into Aiden at that restaurant. Now that his sight was back, he was even more striking than in the photos. He was discussing a partnership, never once glancing my way. He had never seen my face. He had no reason to recognize me. But I couldn't stay calm. My fingers stumbled over the keys. The manager shot me a warning look. During break, I hid in the bathroom to collect myself. When I came out, I bumped into someone. Their phone fell. I quickly bent to pick it up. "Sorry." I looked up and froze. Aiden was staring right at me. I forced myself to stay calm, checked the phone wasn't damaged, and handed it back. Our fingers brushed for a second. I yanked my hand away like I'd been shocked. "Here, it's fine. I'll get back to work." He said nothing. His intense stare flustered me, but I gave an awkward, polite smile and turned to leave. Behind me came a hesitant, probing voice. "Honey?" I stopped, pretended to be surprised, and turned back. "What did you say?" He went silent, disappointment clear in his eyes. I sat back at the piano, mind in chaos. Had he called me that on purpose to test me? I kept playing, praying time would speed up. His gaze never left me from across the room. Finally, the last song ended. I sighed in relief. I stood to leave, then he walked over. "Beautiful playing." He smiled faintly and handed me a generous tip. I didn't want his money at all, but the manager was watching from afar, signaling me not to offend a VIP. "Thank you." I reluctantly took it. He didn't let go. Confused, I looked up. Suddenly, he reached out and grasped my fingers. I startled and tried to pull away, but he held tighter. His long fingers traced the back of my hand, searching for something. Then he stopped, his eyes locked on mine, lips curving. "Found you." Panic surged. I lowered my head and tried to push him away. "You have the wrong person, sir." "Do I? Then why are you so nervous?" He stared at me, excited and angry at the same time. I looked at the floor. Thankfully, his business partner rushed over with an urgent matter. While they talked, I slipped away. "Wait," he called after me, managing only to grab the hem of my shirt. I knew the restaurant's back ways by heart and escaped through the staff exit. When he didn't follow, I finally exhaled. I was terrified he'd come after me to settle the score. If he knew that all the tenderness he'd shown had been given to a complete stranger, what would he think? Disgust? Revulsion? My fingers clenched, chest tight as if crushed by a boulder. The next day, I quit the restaurant job. The usually cold manager suddenly turned warm and offered double pay to keep me. Something was definitely wrong. Had Aiden put out feelers? I turned him down and quit the academy too. For days, I hid at home like an ostrich with its head in the sand. Only when I was sure Aiden wasn't coming did I dare go out. I went to the supermarket to buy ingredients to make soup for my brother. He was 17 now and needed to recover quickly for college entrance exams. When I reached our floor, a tall figure stood outside the door. Designer clothes completely out of place in the rundown hallway. Aiden stared at me, anger flashing in his eyes. "Finally found you." "Sophia." He said my name like he was grinding his teeth. I froze, forcing calm. "Do I know you? We're strangers now?" He laughed coldly and stepped closer. The pressure made me back up until I hit the wall. Suddenly, he cupped the back of my neck and leaned in as if to kiss me. I turned my head in panic, about to scream. He covered my mouth. "Care to explain why you're panicking and why your scent is exactly the same as my wife's? How much longer are you going to pretend?" His nose brushed my neck. The closeness was suffocating, humiliating, and confusing all at once. "Aiden, let go!" "Oh, so now you remember my name?" He raised a brow, triumph in his eyes. I was a mess and couldn't meet his gaze. He released me and straightened my rumpled collar. "Stop running. I just want to talk." My eyes stung. I nodded helplessly. I had planned to take him to a nearby cafe. But when he saw my grocery bags, he insisted on coming inside. I couldn't change his mind, so I reluctantly opened the door. My brother heard the noise and came out. Still pale, dressed in pajamas, he forced a smile for me. "You're finally back? Making soup tonight?" His words stopped when he saw the man behind me. Aiden stared straight at my brother. The air turned ice cold. My brother tugged my sleeve and whispered, "Sis, who's this? Sis?" Aiden smirked, clearly annoyed. "So you like them younger?" I glared at him, but before I could speak, my brother caught the implication, exploded, and grabbed Aiden's collar. "What did you just say? Want a fist?" "Anytime." Aiden's face went cold. He started rolling up his sleeves. I had never seen him so childish. I quickly wedged myself between them. "Stop it! He's my little brother, blood related." The room went dead silent for a few seconds. Aiden recovered instantly, smiled politely, and offered his hand. "My bad. Misunderstanding." My brother slapped his hand away. "Who are you to claim my family?" "Not claiming. I'm your brother-in-law." "My brother?" Question mark. Me, ... I shoved my brother back to his room, then sat on the couch with Aiden. He looked around the tiny apartment while I told him everything. "So, you took care of me just for money?" "Yes." "And fulfilling marital duties? That wasn't voluntary either?" "Not exactly." Talking about it made me want to die from embarrassment. After all, back then he thought I was Evelyn. Aiden studied me in silence, thinking, I worried he'd take his anger out on my brother. His medical situation was the only reason I signed that contract. "Mr. Lawson, I'm sorry for deceiving you. If you're angry, I couldn't think of any way to make it up to him." Seeing me flustered, Aiden suddenly laughed. "Of course I'm angry. You hid too well." Someone knocked. I opened the door. It was our neighbor, Julian. He's also Chinese, an interior designer, and has helped me a lot. "Sophia, a colleague gave me way too much crab. I remembered you said you were craving some, so I brought you a box." He smiled and handed it over. I had only mentioned it once in passing. "Thank you, Julian." "No need to thank me. Just call if you ever need anything." He glanced inside. "Oh, you have company. I won't disturb you." "I'll call you when it's ready." Yeah, we often ate together. When I worked late, my brother ate at Julian's place too. We'd become close friends. I closed the door. Aiden was staring darkly. I wasn't used to him being able to see. Those eyes made me uneasy. "Mr. Lawson, it's getting late. I've said everything I needed to. If possible, let's leave the past in the past." I clutched my sleeve, heart aching. Deep down, I was terrified he'd make trouble, and equally terrified I'd never see him again. Aiden frowned, clearly unhappy. "Just forget everything? You think it's that easy?" "What do you mean?" "I came all this way because..." His gaze flicked to the crab box, then he changed direction. "I need your help with something." I was stunned. What could I possibly help you with? Evelyn ran away again. I need someone who looks and sounds like her to marry me. My heart clenched like it had been stabbed. A substitute, again. Of course, that's all I was worth. "Mr. Lawson, I can't do it this time." "Why? I'll pay you, or anything you want." "It's not about money. I just want to live my own life." I had suffered enough that year. I refused to repeat the same mistake. Aiden didn't push. He stood up slowly. "Fine. Think about it and let me know. I thought I'd refuse firmly. But then my brother's condition worsened. Taking him to the hospital terrified me. The doctor said he needed monitoring and possibly another surgery. Another huge bill. I looked at my bank account and sighed. Somehow, Aiden got the information and showed up at the hospital. He offered to transfer my brother to a top private hospital. Plus, my brother didn't have residency here. If he wanted to attend university, we'd have to return home eventually. I weighed the pros and cons. In the end, reality won. On the plane home with Aiden, everything felt surreal. I was about to marry the man I loved, again, under another woman's name. Aiden took my hand and idly played with my fingers, just like old times. If you're sleepy, rest. Those dark circles are bad. You haven't been sleeping, have you? I tried to pull away. He held tighter. I'm not Evelyn. Why do you care? You're about to become my wife. Shouldn't I start getting used to it? He said it so matter-of-factly, then told me to lean on his shoulder. I really was exhausted from the hospital nights. That familiar cedar scent surrounded me. I actually fell asleep. Once we were back, Aiden kept his promise. He got my brother into the best private hospital and even hired tutors. Meanwhile, I was surrounded by stylists every day. Makeup, hair, wedding dresses, venue selection. Last time, for the fake engagement, I hadn't had to lift a finger. Strangely, Victoria was nowhere to be seen. She knew I was marrying her son. Wouldn't she at least come throw some shade? I was staying in an apartment near Aiden's company. He said it was more convenient. That night, he came home late from overtime, looking wiped out. I showed him the venue designs. I worried my taste wasn't fancy enough for his crowd, so I wanted his approval. He glanced over and nodded. Whatever you like. You barely looked. Don't blame me if people complain. We're getting married to make you happy, not to please others. He loosened his tie and called softly, Honey, I'm starving. Don't call me that. We're not married yet. That nickname belonged to Evelyn. Then what should I call you? He thought for a second. Sophie? The way he said it was impossibly tender. My face heated. I pushed him away and fled to the kitchen. I made him a bowl of noodles, then hid in my room. We still slept separately, but that night, as I was getting ready for bed, he knocked. Sophie, the AC in my room broke. In the middle of summer, that would be torture. I opened the door. He stood there hugging his pillow, hair messy, looking pitiful. So, I'll sleep on the floor? The master bed is huge. Sleeping on the floor would be a waste. He walked right in and flopped onto the bed. I stood there, suddenly hyper-aware of everything. Come on, don't just stand there. Shy? He raised a brow. It's not like we've never shared a bed. It's different now. How? Back when he was blind, I even changed clothes in front of him. Now he could see everything. I awkwardly climbed in on the far edge. After lights out, I was too tense to sleep. He used to tease me every night before sleep. A while later, I heard steady breathing behind me. I relaxed and felt a little sad. Of course, I wasn't Evelyn. I held no appeal for him. The next morning, I woke up in his arms. I glanced over. He was still asleep. Somehow in the night, I had burrowed into his embrace. I carefully tried to slip out. Today, Julian was coming home. I was picking him up and treating him to dinner. He was thrilled to see me and brought gifts. Knowing he liked spicy food, I took him to a famous hot pot place. You said you were staying abroad long term. Why come back? I got a big project, so I'm here for a while. Julian attentively put food on my plate. We caught up. I didn't mention why I was back. A fake marriage contract, saying it out loud would only humiliate me more. It was nice seeing an old friend. I drank 2 glasses with him. By evening, Julian insisted on seeing me home safely. At the building entrance, he patted my shoulder. You didn't drink much, but drink some honey water when you get in, okay? Yes, thanks. After his car left, I looked up at the apartment and sighed. Every time I got tangled with Aiden, Evelyn's shadow was there. I really was pathetic. Suddenly, a figure burst out of the hallway. Aiden, clothes disheveled, ran toward Julian's departing car. He yanked the door open, saw me, slammed it shut, and stormed over. Even from a distance, I could feel his fury. I instinctively stepped back. He grabbed my wrist hard enough to hurt. Where the hell were you? Do you know how many times I called? Aiden, my phone was on silent. I just had dinner with a friend. Which friend? Julian. You met him. Why didn't you tell me? Do you have any idea how worried I was? He stopped, took a deep breath, trying to rein it in. I knew. He was probably scared I'd disappear again and he'd lose his backup bride. I looked down and gently tugged. I know, next time I'll tell you. Let go, it hurts. Instead of releasing me, he dragged me upstairs. The second we were inside, I tried to go to my room without a word. He blocked me. You've been out since morning, spent the whole day with him. Happy? What business is it of yours? I'm your fiancée. What do you think? He ground out. Maybe the alcohol made me bold, because it's all fake anyway. I pushed past him. Suddenly he pinned me against the wall, furious. So what, now that you've seen him again, you find me annoying? He stared down at me, eyes blazing. I didn't understand. Why did he care so much when I wasn't Evelyn? I'd already lost my pride. I refused to lose my freedom too. I struggled. He held tighter. Aiden, I hate when you act like this. Hate me? He smirked coldly. Then let me give you more reasons. He crushed his lips against mine, rough, no tenderness, deliberately hurting. Tears spilled. He still didn't stop. Only when I could barely breathe did he finally pull back. No more drinking with other men. Next time, it won't be this simple. Shameless. After that, we were in a cold war. He apologized the next day, but I was still angry. Just because I wasn't Evelyn, he thought he could bully me? On what grounds? I still told him where I was going, but once home, I ignored him. Saturday, I visited my brother at the hospital. The lobby was noisy. As I waited for the elevator, I caught a familiar figure in the corner of my eye. I looked closer, no mistake. Evelyn. I quietly followed. She went into the OBGYN department. I waited outside. She came out pale, holding a test report and 2 boxes of folic acid. She was pregnant? Shock and a strange mix of relief and pain washed over me. Aiden would be thrilled, right? After all, I was just the stand-in. I'd have to step aside eventually. I steadied myself, walked up, and grabbed her wrist. Evelyn, Aiden's looking for you. She froze, eyeing me suspiciously. You're Sophia? Yes, you know me? Oh, so he really found you. She smiled mockingly, and I was the one confused. Her reaction was nothing like I expected. Evelyn, aren't you supposed to marry Aiden? He said you ran away. What are you doing here? Huh? What lie did he make up this time? She frowned arrogantly. Her phone lit up. She glanced at it and got even angrier. Let him tell you himself. I'm busy today. I have someone to beat up. Bye. She strutted off in her heels, fuming. Then she turned back. Oh, right. The baby isn't Aiden's. Don't get the wrong idea. I stood rooted to the spot, brain scrambled. What the hell was going on? If Evelyn never ran away, why did Aiden trick me into coming back? When I got home, Aiden was sprawled on the couch, clearly drunk from a business dinner. Fury rose. I threw my bag at him. Aiden. He caught it reflexively, looked up blearily. Hey, finally talking to me again? You liar. Evelyn never ran away. You played me. I grabbed his collar. I had even starved myself to match her figure better. Aiden laughed, pulled me into his arms. Yeah, I tricked you. I went stiff. He admitted it so casually. You bastard. He buried his face in my shoulder, voice hoarse. Yeah, I'm a bastard. Now we're even. What? You lied to me too. You said you'd be home late, then vanished the second you walked out the door. His voice cracked, like he was holding back years of grievance. I froze, my hands loosening. He held me so tightly I could barely breathe. Aiden, let go. If I let go, you'll run again. He was tipsy, nuzzling my neck and biting, deliberately leaving marks. Ow, you're insane, I yelped, unable to push him away. Only when red marks bloomed on my skin did he stop, looking satisfied. I am insane. Sophia, you have no idea how long I looked for you. I didn't know your name, your face, nothing. The alcohol loosened his emotions. His voice broke. He trembled, hugging me harder, like he wanted to fuse me into his bones. My mom wouldn't tell me anything. I searched, and you hid on the other side of the world. Too much information. I blurted, why were you looking for me? Why do you think? Because I love you. But I pretended to be Evelyn, you only. It has nothing to do with her. I never liked her, and she never wanted me. I knew from the start you weren't Evelyn. I went blank, then relief flooded me. All the guilt I'd carried vanished like smoke. The crush I'd nursed since high school finally got an answer. Like finding buried treasure, my chest swelled with emotion. My eyes burned. How did you know? Dumb girl. You've trained in music for years. Your fingers have calluses. Evelyn never had the patience for that. He stroked my hair gently, and she would never take care of me the way you did. Only you would. Tears rolled down my cheeks. He leaned in and kissed me softly. Honey, don't cry. No wonder when we first met he was cold. He still thought I was Evelyn then. Later, once he realized I wasn't her, he started seeing the real me. He said he'd wanted to expose me and confess countless times, but he waited until his sight returned so he could surprise me. Too bad I left before he could. After everything was out in the open, he held me and wouldn't let go. I cried until my eyes were swollen. I never imagined all his tenderness had been for me. Only me. No wonder he never called me Evelyn, just Honey. Aiden's eyes were red too. He gently wiped my tears. Honey, had enough crying? Not yet. Then answer me. Do you love me? I ducked my head in embarrassment, heart racing. A one-sided crush suddenly answered. I couldn't find the words. He didn't rush me. Let me rephrase. Were you willing back then? Yes. If I hadn't loved him, I would never have done something so crazy. Aiden smiled, lifted my chin. Your face is so red. It's hot. I'm going to shower. His stare flustered me. I jumped up to escape. He followed me into the bedroom and blocked the bathroom door. What are you doing? Showering with you. Have you no shame? Don't need any. I just need my wife. He leaned in, the faint scent of wine on his breath, and kissed me. He pressed me against the wardrobe. Between kisses, he murmured against my ear. I imagined what you looked like countless times. In the middle of the night, I secretly touched your face. Now I finally see you. Honey, you're adorable. I love you so much. My face burned. I couldn't hide. In the end, he carried me into the bathroom. Honey, I want to see every side of you. No. After we confessed, life lost its tension. But I still dodged him every day, pretending to be busy with wedding plans. Because every night he stared at me so hungrily, I didn't know where to look. This time, it was real. I had to consider Victoria. She had always been harsh, but she'd never mistreated me. I didn't want to put Aiden in a tough spot, so I asked Evelyn for help. When I found her, she was arguing with a man, more like she was yelling while he stood there calmly. He looked like a bodyguard, sharp suit, addressing her politely as Miss. Evelyn glared. You're only coming back now? Do you know how scared I was? You blockhead. Get lost. If I leave, you'll lock yourself in your room and cry again. My fault. Don't be mad. It's not good for the baby. He tried to take her hand. She slapped it away. They went back and forth forever. Finally, he pulled her into a long, soothing hug. I sat there eating metaphorical popcorn the whole time. Only when Evelyn was smiling again did I approach. She saw me and grinned mischievously. Need my help? Aiden not satisfying you? Miss Evelyn, I really do need a favor. She glanced at the bodyguard. Stop standing there. Wait in the car. Yes, miss. He even carried her bags for her. We sat in a cafe. She ordered juice. Before I could speak, she asked about me and Aiden. When I got to the part where he went half mad looking for me, she laughed until tears came. Who knew that block of ice could melt? Back when we were kids, he seriously told me he'd rather marry his job than me. Humph, as if I'd ever want him. Clearly, there had never been any romance between them. She also told me Aiden moved out of the family villa because of me. He had a huge fight with his mother. I was stunned. He had never mentioned that. It made me even more determined to help them reconcile. Miss Evelyn, what does Mrs. Lawson like? Evelyn grew up with them and was Victoria's favorite. She would know. She flipped her hair, eyes lighting up. Want to win her over? Easy. She happily agreed to help. Reason, if I married Aiden, she'd be off the hook for an arranged marriage. We struck a deal. She told me Victoria's soft spots. She's all bark, soft heart. Jewelry is just surface stuff. What she wants most is a grandchild. Sophia, just pretend you're pregnant, guaranteed success. But, no buts, it's settled, I'll help. You marry fast, I'm free fast. She grabbed my hands excitedly. I could only laugh bitterly. I discussed it with Aiden. He agreed instantly. Sunday, he took me to the family estate for dinner. Evelyn was there too. The moment we walked in, the air around Victoria turned icy. She pretended we didn't exist and only talked to Evelyn. I was used to it, so I didn't care. Aiden gripped my hand tightly and announced, Mom, I'm marrying Sophia. It wasn't a discussion, it was a statement. Victoria froze. The glass in her hand crashed to the floor. She glared at me, ready to explode. Evelyn quickly stepped in. Aunt Vic, calm down. She's pregnant. That's why Aiden wants to get married soon. Pregnant? Impossible. Victoria's eyes widened in rage. Sophia, you seductress. Mom, don't talk about her like that. Aiden cut in coldly. You're defending her? Evelyn pulled out the fake ultrasound report. We just swapped the name. Look, 2 months along. Victoria stared at the paper, face pale, hands shaking. She glared at my stomach like she wanted to murder me. I shrank back. Please don't get upset, Aunt Vic, Evelyn continued sweetly. Aiden and I even went to a temple. The fortune said this baby has great blessings, very likely a boy. You don't want the Lawson family's first grandson born out of wedlock, do you? People would talk. She hit every weak spot: pride, tradition, reputation. Victoria finally calmed, giving my stomach a grudging glance. The living room fell silent. After a long moment, she sighed and told the butler, "Set another place." If I was going to be with Aiden, I'd face whatever came. I thought the road ahead would still be rough. A week later, packages of prenatal supplements started arriving nonstop from the estate. Victoria never said a word, but she had quietly accepted me. I breathed a huge sigh of relief. The supplements made me gain weight, so I fed them to Aiden instead. Result, he tormented me even more fiercely at night. Friday, Julian invited me to dinner. A friend of his wanted to invest in music education and introduce us. I had long dreamed of opening my own vocal academy, but my brother's illness forced me to shelve it. Now the chance was here again. I wanted to chase my dream. Aiden always said he'd support me forever, but I still wanted my own career. Marriage and independence are separate things. We started building the academy, beginning with children's classes. Every night, Aiden came home to find me busier than him and quietly helped. He reviewed contracts, gave investment advice. I was glued to my laptop. He came out of the shower, hair still damp. There was so much to prepare, but I wasn't tired. I was living my passion. "Honey, when are you going to make time for me?" he grumbled, leaning on my shoulder like a needy cat. Almost done, almost done." "You've said that like 50 times. He pouted. I ignored him. He started being naughty, nibbling my ear, kissing my neck. "Stop it." I squirmed, ticklish. I finished the last document. He was reading on the couch. I stretched. "Done. Time to rest." No answer. "Mad." I took his book. He looked up with puppy eyes. I laughed and used his old line, "I'm doing all this for our future. Stop being unreasonable." He raised a brow. "I'm being unreasonable, and what are you going to do about it?" "Obviously, make it up to you." I leaned down and kissed him. His eyes darkened instantly, wicked. He patted his thigh. "Sit here if you want to make it up to me." Total rogue. I didn't crawl out of bed until noon the next day. Back and waist killing me, I dragged myself up and sent the files to my partner. Aiden was bright-eyed, smug as could be, reading in the living room. He grinned when he saw me. "Honey, last night you made me very happy." "Shut up!" Sunday was rare, both of us free. Aiden wanted a normal couple date. We hadn't even left when Victoria showed up. I opened the door and almost thought I was seeing things. Behind her, the butler carried bags and bags, bowing. "Mrs. Lawson," he greeted me respectfully. "What are you standing there for? Not going to invite me in?" Victoria's face was stern. I quickly stepped aside. Aiden came to greet her. She barely acknowledged him. I made coffee. When I bent to set it down, her eyes caught the marks on my neck and her face darkened. "You're pregnant. Learn some self-control. What if you hurt my grandson?" Mortified, I covered my neck and yanked my collar higher. All Aiden's fault. He bit too hard last night. Aiden put an arm around me and changed the subject. "Mom, what brings you here?" "Can't I visit without a reason?" She glared, then pointed at the bags. "More supplements from your grandfather. Finish them." "Thank you." She looked me up and down, frowning. "I already sent supplements? Why are you still so thin?" Well, before I could answer, Aiden jumped in. "She's been morning sick. Throws up everything." "Oh," Victoria nodded, tone still cool, but with a hint of concern. Every sentence about the baby. After lunch, we finally managed to send the VIP on her way. Then she suddenly suggested, "Why not come stay at the estate to rest? I've arranged a private nutritionist. You'll be well taken care of." I froze. Aiden's face immediately darkened. "No way." Victoria frowned. "What's the rush?" "I want to watch my child grow day by day. Modern prenatal care is scientific. Eating a ton isn't the answer. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take good care of her." Unable to sway her son, Victoria gave up. Before leaving, she gave us a meaningful look. "Take care of yourselves." Julian had been swamped lately. Ever since he learned I was getting married, his mood had dipped. He kept complaining about his difficult client, endless revisions, finally circling back to the first design. Yesterday, they suddenly wanted a children's play area added. If not for the huge fee, he'd have quit long ago. I laughed and encouraged him. Weekend, I went shopping with Evelyn. Her bump was starting to show. I wanted to buy baby things with her. We were about to leave when Aiden rushed out of his study. Honey, where are you going? I told you, with Evelyn. Where exactly? What time will you be back? He clung to me, asking a million questions. Every time I went out, he was like this, needing exact times and locations. I answered everything. He kissed the corner of my mouth. Come home safe. Call if anything. I know. Bye, honey. He stood at the door waving until the elevator came, like an obedient big puppy. If his employees saw this, their jaws would drop. At the mall, Evelyn was waiting. We walked and she complained about her boyfriend's cheesy proposal. But watching her grin at the little diamond ring, she was clearly over the moon. We passed a menswear store. I wanted to pick a tie for Aiden. Evelyn leaned on her chin and smirked. Anyone can see you really love him. We were in high school together? Wait, did you like him back then too? I avoided her eyes and changed the subject. Which of these two is nicer? She pressed her lips, clearly guessing. The left one. Listen, don't spoil men too much. Make them chase you. Otherwise, they take you for granted. Right then, her phone lit up. Her bodyguard. She decisively hung up, smugly raising a brow at me. She knew he'd call again. I just smiled. Every couple has their own way. Aiden always whined that I didn't love him enough, that I wasn't as proactive as him. Even when we had to put on the pregnancy act for Victoria, he never pressured me to make it real. He always respected me. When I got home, Aiden heard the door and ran out. Seeing the gift, he lit up like a kid on Christmas. He immediately put on the new tie, admiring himself in the mirror like it was treasure. Then he posted it on his social circle. Caption, gift from my wife. Photo of the tie, perfect angle. Comments, Evelyn, so easy to please. Victoria, ... The wedding day was spectacular. Guests everywhere. Victoria bragged nonstop that she was getting the first Lawson grandson. Her mahjong friends smiled through gritted teeth. Their sons didn't even have girlfriends. Victoria finally got to show off. Her attitude toward me softened dramatically. The music started. In my wedding dress, my brother walked me down the aisle. On that long red carpet, I finally reached the moonlight of my teenage years. Aiden stood tall in his black tux, smiling gently at me. The officiant read the vows. I do. I do. We exchanged rings. Aiden's hands shook as he slid the band onto my finger. I looked into his eyes and whispered, Husband, actually, I've loved you for a very long time. His eyes reddened. He pulled me into a fierce, desperate kiss. Sunlight poured over the bride and groom, showering them with warm blessings.